Hi, I'm Terrell Turner, the host of Business Talk Library. Now, in a previous episode, we were here in Washington, D.C. talking about the trade restrictions. Now, we are back in Washington, D.C. As you can see behind me is the Washington Capitol. It is a beautiful day and a great day to get out and film because today we're talking about trade wars. Now, that is something that is big in the news right now, and we are going to talk about why it may be relevant and what you can actually do about it. So, the first thing is, what is a trade war? Well, simply a trade war is where two or more countries are making rules that are making it tougher for the other to do business in their country. For example, with the US is actually charging tariffs, or they're charging, I guess you'd say, extra fees for Chinese products to come into the US, then they're making it more challenging for Chinese products to come into the US. Now, in the other way around, from my personal experience of years ago working with a business that was doing business in China, one of the trade restrictions that China placed on us is that they wouldn't allow us to do our business in China without first having to form a partnership with a Chinese-based company, and we were required to give the Chinese-based company at least 40% of the business in order for us to be able to do business there. There it is. Both sides are making rules that make it more challenging for the other to do business in their country. So what does a trade war mean for you? Now, if you're a business owner, what that means is there are risks and there are opportunities. Now, the risks are, if you are importing goods from another country that now has to pay extra tariffs, what you could see is that your profit margins will decrease because it will be more expensive, maybe more difficult for you to do business. And the opportunity is, if you are a company that does not import, then the competition may actually become a little bit more in your favor because your competitors may not be able to import. And the other side, if you are a domestic company, you have the chance to possibly have an agreement with a bigger company. For example, if you're a smaller company and you're domestic and that big company chose to take their products overseas because it was cheaper, now that they have to pay tariffs, you might actually be a viable option for them. So your business could grow on the opportunity side. For those of you that are investors, what that means is that you could possibly see a temporary or long-term downshift in your investments, because as we talked about on another video that we did, is that your investments or your stocks are based on what people expect the future to look like for that stock. If they expect that stock to make more money in the future, then the price typically goes up. But if they expect that company to make less money in the future, the price typically goes down. So what do? If you own a domestic company, it's time for you to start networking with the big companies. Because like I said, they're trying to figure out, should they bring their investment or their operations back to the US? Because it's getting more expensive to do it overseas. If you are a domestic company and you already offer that product, hey, it could be an opportunity for you to strike a valuable partnership with a very big company. And then number two, if you are owning a business that has operations overseas, maybe it's time to start investing in your domestic technology or to start looking for suppliers in other countries that aren't impacted by it. Because if you can find suppliers that can give you the same quality at a relatively same price, you may take a financial hit, but you protect the long-term relationship of your business. You're able to still provide your customers with the products they need, and you're able to keep the wheels in your business turning. So those are areas that you need to think about when it comes down to a trade war. Like I said, what is a trade war? It's when two or more countries are making it more difficult for them to do business with one another. That presents risks and opportunities, but you gotta know how to manage the risk and opportunities if you're gonna come out on top. Until next time.